Welcome to 21st Sports. Football is back, and so are we. And we are talking Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens, and both teams' season openers here in 2016. Of course, the season opened on Thursday Night Football, but here on Sunday, this is the first game for these two teams in this young season. And if you like hard-nosed, smash-mouth football, this was the game for you, as it was all about defense. We did see a couple of spectacular plays on offense, but they were very few and far between, as it was just all defense in this very low-scoring battle. The first quarter, you had a field goal by Tucker. He hit a 50-yarder, as Justin Tucker is one of the better kickers in all of football. And then a huge play in the second quarter is Joe Flacco aired it out to Mike Wallace for a 66-yard touchdown. Then, with about 3 minutes left, about 4 minutes left actually, is when the play happened to set up the touchdown for Buffalo. Their only score in the game is right before McCoy would end up running it in with the 1-yard touchdown run. Tyrod Taylor had made a spectacular play setting up that touchdown as he was scrambling around, was able to get rid of the ball, set him up right there on the doorstep. But he didn't have too many big plays. He did, come up with a clutch fourth down later on, scrambling. They actually, Buffalo, whenever they went for it on fourth down, they did make it. They were 2 for 2, but their third down efficiency was pretty paltry. Of course, in the fourth quarter, Taylor there with that fourth down conversion had set up a long field goal attempt, but it was no good. And then on the other side, Flacco would bring the Ravens within field goal range, and Justin Tucker hit his second field goal of the game, a 37-yarder, to put Baltimore extend their lead to 6 points at 13-7, and that would be the final score, as the Ravens would hold on to win this one in this low-scoring game with not a lot of offense. Of course, Flacco was 23 for 34 with 258 passing yards and 1 touchdown. And Taylor on the other side, Tyrod Taylor, only 111 passing yards. So really not getting it done through the air. McCoy had 58 yards on the ground and that 1 touchdown for the Bills, but not a lot of rushing in this game other than that. Forsett did have 41 yards for the Ravens, but Mike Wallace, 91 yards off of 3 catches, and that 166-yard touchdown was responsible for the bulk of those yards. As I said, it was all defense. We were seeing some sacks. Jerry Hughes had a couple of sacks, and Douzabel had 1.5 sacks over there for Buffalo. Then on the other side, with Baltimore, Jernigan coming up with a big sack. Terrell Suggs had a sack as well. And as I mentioned, the third down efficiency, the defense of the Ravens was just shutting it down on third down, as they only allowed 23% to be converted for Buffalo. They were just 3 of 13 on third down. And on the other side, the Ravens were 6 of 15, 40% on third down. Although on fourth down, the Bills did convert 2 fourth downs. They were 100% on fourth down, but it would all be for naught. And total net yards, just a pretty dominant performance by the Ravens. 308 net yards versus just 160, as their defense really did a spectacular job just shutting down the Buffalo Bills offense, only allowing 65 net rushing yards and just 95 net passing yards for Buffalo, whereas the Ravens had 83 net rushing yards and 225 net passing yards. Of course, Flacco getting sacked 4 times for 33 yards lost. They had to do a little better job protecting him. Of course, he did have that botched snap earlier when he was in the shotgun. I guess he wasn't quite ready for it, but you look at the penalties. The penalties really biting the Buffalo Bills in the foot, is they had 8 penalties for 89 yards, more than double, almost triple that of the penalty yards for the Ravens, although only 2 more penalties for Buffalo with 8, but the Ravens 6 penalties in 35 penalty yards. So 89 penalty yards versus 35 penalty yards, that's quite the discrepancy, even though their defense was playing pretty good on the Buffalo side too. I mean, both defenses were playing excellent. It was just a matter of who was going to eke out the points. And of course, with Flacco, is always good for at least one big play. He always, it's football, but we call those plays home runs. When he hits that pass off to Wallace for 66 yards. Boom. You make that play. That's a touchdown. Flacco's usually good for one of those per game at least, even if he's up against a tough defense or having a rough game. Even though his numbers were decent, especially for Flacco and against this defense. The Buffalo Bills do have a phenomenal defense, so it's just the offensive side of the ball. But against that Ravens defense, of course, we'll see as things move forward how good this defense is. Are they as good as they looked in this game? Well, the Ravens, they're the heart of their franchise, the heart and soul of their franchise is defense. They've always been about defense. They've always had good defenses, and that's from top to bottom, all the way up to the front offense. Defense is a priority there in Baltimore, and that's why they play such good defense. They got excellent defensive coaches as well, and they won the battle of the time of possession, 32 minutes and 53 seconds to 27 minutes and 7 seconds. So the Ravens coming away with the win here in Week 1. Let me know what you think about this game, what plays stuck out to you, what performances stuck out to you as well. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Thank you very much once again for listening. It is greatly appreciated, and I hope you're having a good day and having a great weekend and enjoying all the sports.